Red Hood, Outlaw, issue number 33 from DC Universe, DC Comics. So it's no longer Red Hood and the Outlaws, it's just Red Hood, Outlaw. Because, well, Red Hood's pretty much on his own now. Which sucks. That's freaking terrible. The biggest selling point for Red Hood and the Outlaws, for me, was the camaraderie between Jason Todd, Bizarro, and Artemis. Like their relationship and their friendship and the bonds that grew between them. Like that was the biggest selling point for me. That's why I enjoyed the hell out of that series. And I don't know if this was Lobdell's decision, or I'm assuming I'm leaning more towards DC. Probably Dan Didio, because when it comes to terrible ideas, it usually seems to be right up his alley. But they decided, you know what? Why don't we take the Outlaws out of Red Hood and the Outlaws and just have Red Hood by himself? Because that's what everybody wants. And not only that, let's take the great, fantastic illustrator and replace him with someone not as good. Let's just put into those kind of words. I will say at least the writing is a bit of a step up from the previous few issues. The one where Jason Todd, like the issue right after he went solo, was really, really bad in terms of illustrations. Like, literally, they butchered his design. They made him, A, look old. Like, he looked like he was like in his late 30s or 40s. And B, well, he looked almost like Miles Morales. He did not look like Jason. Like, in fact, as I was reading it, I had no idea who it was until someone called him by his name, or I think he referred to him. Something happened where like the name Jason Todd came up, and I was like, wait, that's Jason? Why does he look like a completely different character? But yeah, it's been kind of going downhill from there. There's some interesting ideas. Basically, currently Jason Todd has taken over Penguin's establishment. Basically, he found out that Penguin was kind of like responsible, quote unquote, for his dad either getting caught in prison or, yeah, I believe it got in prison. I think he thought his dad was murdered by Penguin, but there are signs that his dad's actually still alive, or at least his dad was alive and was killed by Artemis. I don't know. Remember that whole idea where Artemis was working for Lex because as payback for healing Bizarro? And then there's that whole like hints that she killed like one of the person that Lex Luthor wanted her to kill actually turned out to be Jason Todd's dad. Yeah, that whole subplot just kind of got dropped. I really feel like Lobdell had an idea of where he was going to go, and DC was kind of like, nope, we're not doing that. Get rid of Artemis and Bizarro. We want to do something else with them, and good luck. And Lobdell, I feel like, is trying to do the best that he can. I really don't think it was his idea. Like, this is just speculation on my part, but if it was, then it doesn't make any sense because he was doing so good for like 20-something plus issues, and all of a sudden things just kind of dropped and did a 180. It just doesn't make any sense. But basically, he's taking over the Penguin's nightclub, and Penguin has basically locked himself inside his panic room, and Jason kind of has him stuck in there now. So, yeah. Meanwhile, we cut to I don't know who these guys are. Oh, I think they are. They referred to earlier. They are the Five Aces, I think is what they were called. I'll get to that in a bit. But I thought this was kind of interesting writing. We're needed. We've been summoned by the Penguin. Worse, we haven't heard from him in a week. Let's get to work. So yeah, basically, these guys work for the Penguin. They haven't heard from the Penguin in a week because Penguin is currently locked up in his panic room. So they're gonna get the gang together and they are going to attack Penguin's nightclub, which I guess is kind of interesting. Like you would think maybe we would go in first, kind of scout the area, to see if Penguin is actually there, rather than just charging in, guns blazing. But that's what they do. Anyways, we have Jason Todd kind of walking the area with I forget her name. but one of his employees, and he meets Isabel, who I don't know who she is. I did read up a little bit after I read this issue, just to kind of. I basically read like some reviews and message boards to see if anyone would name drop who she is. Apparently, her and Jason Todd used to date in the New 52 verse, but I didn't read Red Hood and the Outlaws New 52, and from what I've heard, it's actually really terrible. So I'm not going to. But yeah, apparently, her and Jason Todd had a thing. I'm not a fan of this. Not because I'm like shipping him and Artemis, even though I do think that the way this series is written, like they do make an interesting couple. But so much as the fact that one, please don't bring any more New 52 stuff. Like New 52 should just stay dead. I know Dan Didio's trying to do his best to bring DC Universe back to New 52. Please just don't help him in that regard. But also just the fact that this just seems very weird in the sense that Jason Todd literally was falling in love with Artemis. She was returning those feelings. He also developed a brotherly bond with Bizarro, who also returned those platonic feelings. Both of them got sent through a portal into space. Who knows? Well, I mean, we know because there's a series on it, but Jason Todd doesn't know. He just saw them get basically sucked into a portal. He has no idea where they're at, what they're going through, and he's kind of portrayed in a way that like he doesn't care. Like I think in universe, this is maybe like not even. Is this like maybe like a month since Artemis and Bizarro got flunked through the portal? It hasn't been long, because he literally just had a spat with Batman just recently, and that happened in the same issue as him losing Artemis and Bizarro. But it's like he lost a woman he was developing feelings for. He lost basically his brother figure. He lost another brother figure in Speedy, who was killed in Sanctuary. And it doesn't seem to affect him anyway. He never brings any of these people up. He's jumping from like, oh yeah, I was falling in love with Artemis, but hey, look, my old ex is back. Let's totally start hooking up with her now. It seems weird. Like, what happened with you trying to find your teammates? Like, is that just done? So yeah, he hooks up with her like instantly. I don't know. Is this forced romance? Is she gonna like end up betraying him? Is something gonna happen with her? Is she gonna get killed off or something? It comes across very forced, and I hate when stuff like that happens. I don't know. It's okay. For example, Ash vs Evil Dead. Love that series, but first season with the cop, I forgot her name. But like she spends like half the season trying to hunt down Ash and thinking that he's responsible for her partner's death and all that stuff. And then just a second. There we go. My dog wants to get down. Then all of a sudden, she starts flirting with Ash, and they like develop like a romance in like one episode, just so that in the very next episode, when they're about to hook up, she gets killed off, and it's supposed to be like dramatic, but it just comes across as very terrible writing. I feel like this is like the direction that this is gonna go. Like I don't know who this lady is. Maybe if I read New 52, I'd care more about it, but it seems like forced future drama. Maybe, I don't know. So here are the 5 aces. This guy looks familiar. Who does he remind me of? Oh, I don't remember his name. He reminds me of a comic book character. This guy reminds me of the lead soldier in that one movie, Small Soldiers. Is that what it was called? The one where the toys come to life. I don't remember that movie. Duke, I think, was his name. That's what he reminds me of. But yeah, we got the 5 aces. I'm not familiar with them. I think they were also from the New 52, from what little information I've been able to gather. So yeah, we pretty much get a fight scene between the 5 aces and this squad, the Sisters Sue, who work for Jason Todd. You know what? This might be an interesting team to look into. I'm assuming they're gonna play more of a part in this series. Like I don't got nothing really terrible to say about this except we pretty much have Harley Quinn meets Gwenpool right here. I mean, even down to the personality, it's pretty much Harley Quinn meets Gwenpool, and I mean, obviously the hair, uh, is pretty much Harley Quinn style with Gwenpool's pink on blonde. Um, this series also reminds me of this team reminds me of what the hell was the name of that series? Oh my god. What the hell was it called? Oh, it was a series I just read recently. It's an old series, but it was like a group of I think it was five assassins um who basically have a hit put out on them. So they decide to band together to try to find out who put the hit on them and get them to stop. Um, like one of them is basically like a nun. Another one was a girl who claims to have like be possessed by the spirit of I think Elizabeth Bathory. Um, Another one's like the daughter of a mafioso. No, not a mafioso, of a gun dealer, weapons dealer. I forgot the name of it, but it was actually a pretty decent series. I really liked it. But yeah, anyways, like I would be okay if you get a good writer. I have no problem with like female groups like team ups and stuff like that. Like this seems like it'd be like an interesting team to follow. I mean, you don't really know much about them, but I'm always down for like a team of weirdo assassin types. Just don't shove your shitty politics into it, or if you do, like do it subtly and not ham-fisted in. There goes my phone. But yeah, interesting team. But yeah, like I said, we get a fight between them. We get more pages of said fight. I'm not gonna obviously show all of them, but yeah, it's fine. And then here's Jason's new design. Not really a fan of it. I don't know. He seems like is it Ermac? Is Ermac the red Mortal Kombat character? Yeah, he looks like one of the Mortal Kombat ninjas, with the face mask and the hood and stuff like that. I'll be honest with you guys. I preferred his old design more. I don't know. Maybe an illustrator can do a better job. But I like the leather jacket, the Kelvar. Like this is basically jeans and a t-shirt, and then just a little mask thing. I don't know. I like the more like bulletproof armor, kind of like the Kevlar armor that Jason Todd wore. Like that made more sense. It made more sense for him to like rush into battle with that. And also like with guns. I mean, it's Jason Todd. Jason Todd's kind of familiar with guns. Why does he just have a sword now? Like it seems like almost like he wants to die. He goes from wearing Kevlar armor and a bulletproof full helmet while wielding guns and a sword as backup to jeans, a t-shirt, and a mask that only covers his lower half and doesn't protect the most vital part of his face, specifically the skull and brain. Not to mention just more revealing skin. Whereas like in the other one, like he had the Kevlar armor, he had the t-shirt, but he had Kevlar armor over that, and then he had the leather jacket, which I mean, yeah, leather jacket isn't gonna prevent you from getting shot or stabbed or anything like that, but it'll protect you more than just a t-shirt. So I don't know. I don't get this new design. But yeah, he fights this dude, and there's a little bit more, but I'm not gonna show it. I'm not gonna reveal the rest because I don't want to spoil. But yeah, that's Red Hood Outlaw, issue 33. This pretty much just looks like Damien right here. I don't know. I'm not really feeling the direction this is going. I feel like they just completely butchered what made Red Hood and the Outlaws so great. Uh, it's the camaraderie, man. Like the camaraderie between him, Artemis, and Mazzaro is what sold that for me. It's what sells me on a lot of things. Like one of my favorite shows right now that I've been binge watching like crazy is Hogan's Heroes. Great show, and it's the camaraderie between the Allied forces. You got basically the Americans, the French, and British teaming up to take down the Nazis. And I mean that series is like lighthearted and more of a sitcom, but like the camaraderie is what sells it. If it was just about Hogan, I don't think it would be as fun. But the fact that like my favorite episodes is like when you see them working together for a common goal, like stuff like that. There's something about that intrigues me. That's why I love Red Hood and the Outlaw. You got these characters who, on paper, there's no way that they would work, and then yet it does. And there's just something awesome about seeing their relationship go from attacking each other at first, not really trusting each other, to developing this unbreakable bond where they'll basically sacrifice their lives for each other. Like there's just something magical about that. And now it's gone because we have to have Jason Todd by himself, because now in the DC universe nobody can be happy. And I hate this. I hate this direction. I really do think Dan Didio needs to be fired. I think not Jason. I think Jim Lee needs to be fired too. Not, I mean, he's a decent illustrator. From what I heard, like his current stuff is not as good as his previous stuff, but he's fine. Like I don't have a problem with him as an illustrator, but he seems to just be very hands off when it comes to the DC leadership, and he seems to kind of be just letting Dan Didio do what he wants. And no, you can't be doing that. Like Dan Didio, he's just taking DC in a direction that nobody likes. There's a reason why DC sales are dropping, and they had to basically, they're going to have to cancel like a bunch of their series. It's because you took it from a hopeful direction with Rebirth, and now you're just crapping all over that and just making it dark and depressing and just taking to New 52 territory that nobody wants. And it shows like a lot of this series that I actually enjoyed, like I don't care for anymore. This was at one time one of my favorite ongoing series, and now it's just I don't even remember when it comes out anymore. It's just, oh, there it is on the shelf. Okay, like I don't even keep up with release dates for it because it's just, I don't care. Like I've lost interest in this, and it's sad. This is actually my second review that I did today. I'm not going to upload the other one because the other one was crap. Basically, I tried to review Hack Slash vs. Chaos #4, and basically I got 3 minutes into the review and I was done because there's just like nothing to talk about, and the rest of the video was just me basically talking about how I'm becoming very apathetic to this industry. I literally didn't go to the comic book store this past week. I mean, I basically bought like 1 or 2 issues digitally, and the other ones that are on my pull list I'll just go maybe get tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow, next week, or I should say this week. Just because it's not enough. Like I don't care for them enough for me to drive out of my way to get them. I literally spent this past week reading a bunch of manga and having a great time with that. Whereas when it comes to comics, it's like, okay, this is fun, but it's not. I don't know. It's not enough. I don't know. Comic book industry like either needs to die or it needs to get overhauled. Because it's I don't know. Anyone else feeling this way? Anyone else just becoming very apathetic and just losing interest in the comic book industry? It's very, very hard. Like, especially because of my channel, I try to make my channel more positive. A lot of people might say that I like everything. I don't. There's a reason I only review like the same series over and over again, pretty much. Because my goal was I loved comics, fell out of love with it, then fell back in love with them again after like 2 decades. And I kind of want to bring that love back to everyone and show it to everyone else and kind of get other people interested. So I basically try to make my comics channel, my channel on comics more positive. I mean, you got a bunch of other great YouTubers out there who basically kind of tend to roast comics, which is fine. I mean, the way the comic book industry is now, they need to get roasted. But one, I don't want to be like everybody else. And two, I kind of figured, you know what? If they're going to go showcase all the negatives in comics, I want to show the more positive. Um, Maybe, you know, I'll find some good comics that no one knows about, and I'll try to put a spotlight on them. My YouTube channel is very small, but if I can just get one person interested in you know, in a series that no one is talking about, then I've done my job. But it's very hard to do that now. Like it's literally at the point where I'm reviewing the same series over and over again because there's nothing good out there, or at least like I can't find the good stuff. Um, and when I do, it's just there's just not enough to talk about. Like stuff like this is easier. It's easier to talk about stuff that I don't care for than it is to talk about things that I enjoy. But I don't want my channel to go in that direction. I want this to be more positive. But I'm struggling here. If you guys have any series that you recommend, I mean, I'm gonna see if I can try out Spider-Man because I've heard good things about that, and Venom. I've heard good things about those two. Hopefully, you know, the next issue is like a good jumping on point. Um, there was the Cult of Symbiote or Cult of Venom. I forgot what it's called. I've heard mixed things about that. I don't know about that. I don't know. If you guys have any series that you guys recommend that you haven't seen me do yet, please let me know. And I will try to check them out. But I'm struggling. I might have to do like manga or something for a while. I will do something. I'm gonna try to do something different for Friday. It depends on if I can. I have to do some work on it though. Basically, the idea I have for Friday is gonna require me to do some drawings, and I'm crap at drawings, but I just need to find some time to do those. So if I can get some of those quick doodles done, because I think those doodles will kind of help sell my video a bit more. Then we're gonna have basically a different format just for Friday, and then if people enjoy it, I might do more of those. But we'll see. But yeah, if you guys, I don't know, I'm kind of rambling now. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video more than I enjoyed reading this issue. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe. I'm trying to hit 400 subscribers by the end of the year. Hopefully we can get there. Hit the bell for notification. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Feel free to comment down below. And I have like, you know, PayPal and Patreon, all that stuff in the description, but don't do that. And I always feel weird plugging it. That's why you like, almost never hear me talk about it, because it always feels weird. Here's what I would love for you guys to do though. Just share this with people. That's it. If you guys can just help this channel grow in that way, I would very much appreciate it. Like I don't need any money or anything like that. I mean, it's there if you guys feel like you want to contribute in that way. And of course, anything I make goes straight back into the channel. But just share the video, get it out there. That's all I really would ask for. If you guys can do that for me, that'd be much appreciated. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy, and I will catch you guys next time. Later.